catalyst for change with the chance to thrive. Crystal is the one to stir up gifts and save lives. You get exposure, promotion, and marketing too. And advertise for business owners just like you. On Storytime, your interview is global. Virtual or in person, just come on the show. Yo, your story matters. Crystals will open the door. 40 years of experience, ready to give you more on Storytime. Get ready for Storytime. Hey, come on.
Move this picture and you're going to see my face, and we're going to get this party started. But let me tell you a little bit about my guest I have here today. All right, so welcome. Once again, my name is Crystal. I want to go over a few housekeeping rules for you today so you know what we're doing here at Storytime. And this is like a Jamaica High reunion. And guess what? I even have on my reunion shirt, y'all, with some beavers in here from when we last got together on our 40th. So I got the beavers up in here. And this young man helped me with designing some things for the beavers. So that's a salute to him too. But I want to tell you first, while you're here today, we want to ask you to do a few things. Storytime it's a place where we just come and we connect as human beings, and we talk about life experiences, and we bring some people we know and we don't know, and we just have a good time. I want you to like, I want you to share, I want you to comment while you're here. We generally come here on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. on Sunday, but today we're doing something special because we have our dear friend here from Japan. All right, I want to ask you, when you do come through, to make sure you take a moment and share this live with 5 friends. Share it with 5 friends. We want to ask you to do that for us too. And of course, the one of the biggest things we always ask you to do that doesn't cost you anything, and that's to like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe, because that's how you can stay connected and know what we have going on in the future, okay? So we want to remind you to please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, all right? But before we get into too much, I want to tell you a little bit about this young man I have here today, okay? And you saw the flyer. His name is Gene, okay? Gene is the guy that we have here today. And I'm going to be sharing with you some things so you can really see. I'm going to share you. But Gene is my classmate from Jamaica High, okay? He is a young man that has it going on, right? Gene is a person of many, many talents, okay? And we are all so proud of him. He left us back. He's a keyboardist. He's a visual artist, okay? They call him Gwiz, all right? And he is the man, all right? And he has so many gifts. If you ever follow him online, you're going to see some amazing things out of him. He does artwork. You might see some drawing he's done. You might see him doing something. He might be up in the air. He might be anywhere. You don't know where you might see Gene. That's just how Gene is. He is got it going on, you know. But Gene is my guest tonight. I call him Gene Williams, Gene Wiz. And I think I hear him knocking at the door right now. So I'm going to bring him to the stage. Hey, Gene, are you with me?
I'm knocking.
You're knocking. Okay. Hey,
what's up?
How you doing? Good
What's
to
going
see
on?
you. Good to see you, man. Oh,
all right. Thanks for having me. What is going on?
This is going to be so much fun. Oh,
Jamaica High represent.
Woo! It's been a minute. It's been a minute, man. How you doing?
But that's not my shirt. That's not the shirt that I made.
No, the one that you made, literally, when I went to the room, right? I know I said I did this.
I'm going to call you out.
I did this at the tribute, but I actually have the one you made, and I locked
Yeah.
myself out the room just now.
How do you lock
I
out?
went
How
there
did you
and I
lock
locked
yourself out
myself.
your room?
So I have my daughter back there trying. I said, Lord, I done locked myself out the room. This is too funny.
Okay, yeah. Blame your daughter.
Yeah, man, So how's it going, man? How's it going? How are you doing out there?
Ohio gozaimasu. Ohio gozaimasu. It's morning here in Japan. So that's how you say good morning.
What time is it?
It's 9:06 a.m. Right? Wow. So, I'm a musician. We don't get up before 11, so I'm.
Wow, 9:06 a.m. Ladies and gentlemen, Gene is tuning in from Japan, right? So if you see some technical difficulties, if it seems as though
Are you there?
I freeze, just know
man, you froze already. Is it
yeah,
me?
that's okay, because he's coming in from across the world, so it's good, Once again, if he freezes up, just know it's because he's in Japan. All right, but we got it.
All right, are we back? Because you froze.
Oh,
or did I freeze?
I was explaining to people how you're in Japan. I mean, it's in the morning. It's how many hours away on the plane? How many hours does it take you to get to Japan or China from the U.S.?
Wow, it's been a while since I made that flight. I think 14 hours from the U.S. to China, and then add 1 more hour to Japan.
Wow. So, Gene, I want to get right into this because this is so huge for me. I mean, first, I want to say I'm so proud of you. You are so gifted. I'm going to share your channel later so people can see the stuff you do. But man, contemporary artist, musician, educator, filmmaker from Queens, New York, that attended Jamaica High School. Oh my goodness. You work with visual and musical art. And you have such a presence on social media. I mean, and you are really amazing. I've seen some of your work. I've seen your cartoons.
I hope so.
Oh my goodness.
I hope you've seen it. This is going to be a short interview if you haven't.
Oh, let me ask you this question. Did you start out at Jamaica drawing? Well, first, let's do this. Introduce yourself to people who have never met you before.
Well, you just did it. you just introduced me.
Right. So, but what I'm saying is, who is Gene, the little boy that came from Jamaica High? Who was that kid back then?
Wow. Born and raised in St. Albans, Queens, right? And I always had interest in cartoons and things like that. So, I grew up, learning how to draw from Charlie Brown, Charles M. Schultz comics, and still one of my idols. I still think he's brilliant. And, and moved on to the Flintstones and, just copied learning how to draw and things like that. So, I was always interested in cartoons and comics and things like that. And as I got older, I got into the Marvel comics kind of thing. So by the time I got into Jamaica High School, I was pretty focused on being an artist, a cartoonist, a comic artist, whatever, But when I got to Jamaica, I started meeting people my age who were also into music. And, growing up at our age back in those days, most of us took lessons, played some kind of musical instruments. And I was taking piano lessons. And when I got to Jamaica, I remember literally my first day, I'm meeting guys like the late Doug Davis, who was a saxophonist, and Rick Freeman. I'm pretty sure I met them on day one at Jamaica High School. And they were serious about music, so they were talking about jazz and everything. And I knew about jazz because, my father played. He didn't play any musical instruments, but, he had a huge record collection and mostly jazz. So I had a pretty good knowledge about jazz, but I didn't know about contemporary jazz, which, these young guys were really into, So I remember Doug Davis and Rick Freeman. They were talking about Chick Corea and Herbie Hancock and stuff and all that stuff.
Wow. So I want to ask this question. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, my guest is tuning in from Japan.
Am I still here? Yeah, yes. Am I still here? Okay.
Yes. So let me tell you this. If I freeze on your end, I'm
Yeah.
still going on mine. So if I free, just pause because I'll just talk it through until you come back because
Okay.
I'm still here. Like if I look frozen on your end, I'm not frozen on my end, so I'll be still talking.
Yeah. So
But
on my end, I see the spinning wheel. So
uh,
it means I'm buffering. So I'm like, uh-oh. So yeah. So anyone who's listening, just be aware. Unless Crystal does some editing, there might be some some connection issues because we're international, y'all. This is this is not a lock. It might be some technical glitches here and there. So bear with us. We'll be back. Okay.
yes. Now talk about that for a minute because you said that I couldn't have done it if you were in China. So explain that to me for people who want to become international and global with their social media platform. There are some places in the world where there would be some VPN restrictions.
Right. Yeah. Well, Japan is not one of those places. There's no restrictions like that. But in China, yeah, lots of restrictions. Right. So they have what's called the Great Firewall in China. And everything, the internet is controlled, and they don't want you just saying any old thing. Right. So they they pretty much block all Western influenced social media, but they have their own. They have their own Chinese stuff. They have their own Chinese YouTube. They have their own Chinese. Well, even though TikTok comes out of China, the parent company is called Douyin, so that's their own, right? So it's completely different from what you see in TikTok in in other countries, and especially in the
Wow.
United States. So yeah. So the internet is pretty controlled, and they have this firewall, which when you're in China, you basically can't see YouTube, you can't see, Facebook or any other stuff that we usually use. So I need to use a VPN, which is a virtual proxy network that allows me to jump over the firewall. And most foreigners in China have them. It's just still good to have, even if you're not, overseas. It's good to have a VPN. It helps protect you from, from being hacked, and going to, it's really good if you want to go onto Netflix and maybe see some movies that aren't available in the United States. So it's good to have a VPN, but it's necessary if you're a foreigner in China.
And you were always an artist. I went to your Facebook page and I grabbed this because I can remember when I first saw your page and all your artwork. You were so gifted. I wanted to stop for a moment and take you back to high school. When you were in high school and you met these people and you were just inspired about the art, when did you decide that you were going to take a big leap of faith and go across the world? And how exactly did that happen? That's the story I want to know. What made you go all the way over there, and what transpired when that happened?
Well, my father worked for TWA, and before that he worked for Lockheed. So he worked at JFK International Airport. So traveling was something we always.
So he said they traveled a lot. See, when you have those benefits, you can travel when you have someone in your family that works.
Queens. We went to Jamaica, West Indies. All right. So that was my first time flying. And, I was hit by the travel bug at a very early age, so thanks to my father having access to, inexpensive travel, and he could get free tickets. So, yeah. Are we still here? I hope we're not frozen again.
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
I think we're frozen. Did I
No,
freeze again?
you're good. You're good. So I'm going to use the private chat and let you know that you're good. If you can hear me, you are good. So you're definitely good. Can you hear me okay? He might be pixelating, and this is why we are wanting you to know that we are doing this from Japan, y'all. Japan. He is in Japan. And I think, let me bring him back up and see that okay, there you go.
What was the last thing you heard?
You were talking about your father and flight benefits.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So we've been traveling at a very early age. But then when I started touring, I was very fortunate enough to get some gigs with some internationally known artists, and Roberta Flack was one of them. And, so she took me to Japan my first time, and that was in 91, 92, something like that. And I had always had this fascination with Japan.
Wow.
When we were kids playing music, we would get these albums, live in Japan, live in Tokyo, and things like that. So I was always, and we were watching anime cartoons like Speed Racer, Gigantor, all of this Japan animation when we were kids. And I always had this fascination with someday I'll go to Japan. So when I got that Roberta Flack gig and she took me, we went on tour of Japan. Oh man, it was like every fantasy coming true, man.
Wow.
So that was it for me, And then of course, Roberta was internationally known, so we went to Europe, and we went everywhere, And then it just continued on with different artists, like Freddie Jackson. Freddie would like to go to the Caribbean islands and things like that, So we didn't. I think I went to Japan maybe once or twice with Freddie. But yeah, Freddie was mostly the islands and the United States domestically.
Really?
So, working with those people,
Let me ask you this. Do you miss New York City?
No.
Not
Did I take too long to answer?
Did you miss it when you first moved, when you made that decision to move? You went over there to teach, right? Was you teaching when you first
Exactly. Yeah.
And how was that transition for you? I mean, to move to another country where you don't speak the language. Talk about that for a moment. How did that go?
Yeah, for me it was easy. In countries like China, they're very focused on learning English. So me being there as a foreigner, they always wanted to practice their English with me. So I never had, experienced any pressure of having to learn, even Japanese, So, because people are like, oh, can I practice my English with you? They see a foreigner, where are you from? Most of the time they think I'm from Africa. Wow. They see a black face, they think, but then they hear my voice and they're like, oh, he's American. Can I practice my English with you? Yeah. So it was never a problem, and
once again, ladies and gentlemen, he's tuning in from Japan. So if he pauses and we get a connection that stopped, I will just pick up and just
as long as you have your phone. Yeah, as long as you have your phone, there are apps where you can just pay for things with a QR code. You don't even need to talk to anybody. So it was very easy transition. I'm still very comfortable in these places. And when you ask if I miss New York, no, because I was really tired of it before I left. People would, just walking in the streets with this, you have to look like you're mad all the time. Everybody's angry, and it's a bad environment, so I couldn't wait to get out. The subway, it's just that affects your whole mentality and your lifestyle. So I couldn't wait to get out, and it was definitely a change for the better in my case. It's not for everybody, but because I had experience traveling and I see myself as an ambassador overseas, I don't act like a knucklehead or anything. So I fit in pretty well. People seem happy to have me for now.
That's good.
Anything can change though.
That's right. And right now it's a little bit tricky with people going back and forth internationally. It gets kind of tricky. People wonder if they're going to be able to get back home. So the climate has changed from the time you first went over there to now. Right. But let me ask you this. If someone is preparing to go for the first time, where do they need to visit? If they're in China or Japan, where would you recommend they have to see when they get there?
Well, first of all, China and Japan are very different places, right? So, the culture kind of comes from the same place, but you're talking hundreds of years back, right? But now, it's different, very different places, So I would definitely recommend going to Japan first, and, like now I'm in Tokyo, And this is, I've been here before, so I know it, even though I haven't been here in like 25 years. When it all comes back to me, I feel like, oh, I know this is great. So there are a lot of Westerners here, there are a lot of foreigners, and the Japanese people here, know me pretty well. So, it's pretty cool. But if they were visiting for the first time, I would definitely recommend Tokyo, right? And they have a very vibrant nightlife, and it's a big city. Trains are kind of complicated, but we come from New York, so we can relate to a complicated subway system.
Okay.
So so I would recommend coming to Tokyo, and then Osaka. That's another one of my favorites. I spent a long, maybe 3 months in Osaka doing a gig. But for me, it's kind of a different vibe, because all of those times I was a professional musician, so I came over, as a performer, as an entertainer. So I didn't come over initially as just a random tourist doing those touristy things. I kind of came over with celebrities as a celebrity, sort of, right? A friend of a celebrity. So I was treated differently, So now that I'm a tourist, it's kind of a different vibe, and I don't have the pressure of having to go to a show and sound check and all of those type of things. Now I can just enjoy the sights and things as a tourist would be. So Tokyo, Osaka, right? And then if you have the opportunity to visit China, which is harder now,
Yes.
right? But they did change.
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, Gene Williams, aka Gwiz, is giving us some tips on where to go if we decide to go over to
You could
China.
probably get a 2-week visa to visit and check it out. So, for you guys, if you're coming from New York, you want to visit Shanghai, because that's kind of like their window city, they call it.
Okay.
And so you'd feel very comfortable as a person coming from New York City visiting Shanghai.
What's the crime rate? What's the crime rate like in those places?
Non-existent.
Wow.
It's very safe. Very, very safe. And same thing here in Japan. I set up my computer here, and this is kind of a public area. It's kind of a lounge, people coming through, and I went to McDonald's to get a McDonald's breakfast around the corner. I just left my computer right here because I'm not worried. Nobody's going to take my computer, right? You get very comfortable here.
So even as a tourist, they can feel safe, because, a lot of time when you're traveling and you're a tourist, then people prey on you. So you're saying when you come over to those areas, it's not like that.
Yeah, but still be smart, right? I mean, don't just say, I'm going to leave my wallet here, and be smart about it. Chances are you'll be okay, right? You don't have to worry about those things, but still be smart about it, right? We're New Yorkers, so we know how to,
That's right.
we know how to survive in a smart kind of way, But yeah, it's very safe. Crime rate, forget about it. It doesn't exist. Even homeless, here in Japan, I'll see more homeless, people in the street than in China, but very few. It exists, but you don't see it a lot.
Okay. So here's the big thing. I know I travel a lot too globally. So when you come over there, is it something that you can do? Like you said, you could use the train. So if you wanted to get around, you don't really have to get a rental car, because the public system is pretty good, and you can find your way around to different places easily. That's
right. Absolutely. Yeah. It's very, get your map, they have a subway map, or, if you're lucky enough, because I'm not connected right now. This is a problem. I don't have service, so yeah, but there's Wi-Fi everywhere, so it's pretty cool, but yeah, you can get an app, a Metro map or whatever, do your homework, Google, right? Google Maps works. And, but if you like, adventure, go without. It's actually possible to do it without the apps. You can still have a good time. So just get a map. Study. Okay, I want to go here, right? Do your homework, that's how I did it 20 years ago. And even if I don't have service now, I can still do it. I can still get around. And
Wow.
of course, there's always taxis, but the taxis are a little expensive. The taxis here are like little limousines. You got to check out the taxis. It's wild.
Are they? They're little limousines, really?
Yeah, they're these like real clean black little limousines. That's really nice, man.
Wow.
It's
Are they
comfortable.
expensive? Let's talk about the currency there. How, the dollar, how it stretches there. Our money is more there. A
Yeah, the
dollar.
U.S. dollar is pretty good. The yen is kind of weak right now, so they're having kind of economy problems here in Japan, and the Chinese RMB is actually pretty strong. So a lot of Chinese have been coming here to come to
Okay, so we're getting educated on the money and the difference between the money in China and Japan. So if
Chinese
we,
yen right now. Yeah.
okay,
If I
excellent.
did I just cut out again? Am I
Yes, but
okay?
I filled in when you cut out like that, I kind of step in and I kind of fill in the blanks until you come back. That's kind of like how I've been
Okay.
doing.
But
Yeah.
I'm making sense though, right? I'm
Oh,
clear.
most definitely, most definitely. You're not cutting
Okay.
out that much, so that's the blessing.
Okay.
So now let
Cool.
me ask you this: the the
Uh,
cartoons that you make are amazing.
Thank
What
you.
where did that come from? How did you start? I know that you talked about your idols and who you love, but did you get a gig or something? What made you start doing that? Because you do some amazing work. Your
Thank you. Yeah.
creativity is wow.
Well, after Jamaica, I went to the School of Visual Arts, which is a very prestigious art school. So I was very fortunate to get into that. We don't call it. It's an art school, but it's a college. I got my bachelor's there. I got my degree there, and I had some of the most prestigious teachers. And there's a man named Will Eisner who I credit as really teaching me technique and certain instruments. So Will Eisner, he's a legend. He was a legend. He passed away, years ago. And even when I went to SVA, he was a legendary comics artist. He created what's known as the graphic novel, and he created a character which is still kind of well known. They actually made a movie from one of his characters. He created a character called the Spirit. So he influenced a lot of modern day comic artists. So this piece that you're looking at right here, this is like a year out of SVA. So I had already, kind of got my technique together. Will Eisner taught me how to use a brush with pen and ink and things like that. And this piece was actually published. It's one of my first published pieces. So Will Eisner pretty much gave me the skills. He taught me. I think I had the skills, but he just helped me put it together and make it professional. So that
Wow.
was, yeah, he was. And then just being at SVA with other very talented artists, young artists, who are filmmakers now. Some of them work for Disney now. One good friend of mine, we touched base on Facebook. We were at SVA together. He worked on Batman the animated series. His name is Dan Reba. He directed some of those episodes. So we all went to school together. So we were all learning from each other and being influenced by the same things. Another guy, Drew Friedman, is an amazing artist. He does caricatures and he does like covers of New York Magazine and things like that. So yeah,
And
we're
this
just
piece,
yeah,
this is
we're
the
just
piece you
influenced
drew.
by each other.
And what
Yeah,
is this
that's a
piece you drew? You
so I had this is shortly after I graduated SBA, and I was looking for work. I was a freelance artist, right? But I always wanted to work for Mad Magazine, right? Because I like humor and I could write jokes and things like that. So I had I had been doing interviews and going to different editors and art directors looking for work. So I actually went to one place and I had done a parody of Michael Jackson's "Beat It" video, and they liked it, and they said,
Wow. So Gene is explaining about his artwork that he does, and he's in Japan. So if he cuts out, I'll kind of
And
ad lib.
and then they asked, "Can you do this every month?" Right? I said, "Yeah," you know. And so they gave me the opportunity to write and create a 3-page segment for this magazine called Rock Video Magazine. So I did that for about a year or so, and so that's what you were looking at there.
Wow. Now this is you playing. What do you love more, drawing or playing?
I knew you were going to ask that, right? I can't, it's always been kind of like a tug of war between the two, right? So now I've managed to figure out how to integrate the two of them, you know. But yeah, I mean, I love performing. Um, I'm a rocker, so I like getting on stage and playing live. That's one thing you can't do as an artist. So there's a social aspect to performing live as a musician that I really enjoy, not just performing for people listening, but playing with other musicians, right? That, art can't come close to that, but
No.
I do love, creating my art and creating these stories. And that's basically it. I'm a storyteller,
Yes.
so I figured out now, thanks to AI and things like that, I use these different tools to bring it all together. And while some people are, against AI or anti-AI, I'm embracing it because it's allowing me to bring all of this stuff together. And sure, I can still create, human, my human work, my human art.
Yes.
But, I have nothing against integrating uh, my human skills with the AI skills. I think that's what it's all about, bringing it all together.
I love this piece of Obama and Michelle. You're so good. Your details, your details are really, really good when you draw.
Yeah, that was after, that was when Obama was starting his second term, right? That's an old one.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I remember he was running against Mitt Romney.
Wow. So right now, are you still teaching, Gene?
I'm kind of on a break right now. I'm looking for another. It's like in Asia, they retire around like 60, 55, something like that, So technically, I think they want me to retire, but I don't want to retire, right? So,
Wow.
but it's really hard to land a gig at our age teaching now. I had a pretty good run at a university in China, but it's like now it's like it's not. I have the qualifications, I have the experience, and they want me. But this is another thing about music; it keeps us young, so nobody believes how old I am. They think, it's like, oh, he's perfect for the job. Can we hire you? And then they ask, how old are you? And I tell them, and they're like, oh, we can't do it, right? It's like, oh, you're too old. We can't, so
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
So right now I'm still looking. I'm not really expecting to find anything because it seems, their policies don't allow, at least with foreigners, once you're over 60, you know, it it ain't gonna happen, you know.
Really? Oh my goodness. So it's not easy. Well, that's everywhere. That's everywhere. When you get older, it's hard to get a job. So that's nothing new. Gene Williams, everybody, they call him Gwiz. He's a contemporary
Looks like we
artist.
froze
He,
again.
he went to Jamaica High School in Queens. We all know him.
Okay,
He's a
there we go.
keyboardist. He is the man that can draw. He plays. He's toured the world with many celebrities. He is a celebrity to us in Jamaica, and just very excited to be
The
here with him.
celebrity.
I'm going to share his channel to let him really show you some of his work that he's done. You've seen his drawing. Now let's see some of his film work. Talk to me about your film work after you get unfrozen. Talk to me about your
Am I
film
still
work.
frozen?
No, you freeze every now and then, but I got you. I got
Okay,
you. We're flowing good. Talk
cool.
to me about your transition from cartoons to film work because you are really, really good. It's like everything you touch is gold, man. Whether it's How do you do it?
No, I'm just learning as I go, but yeah, I've always played around, again, storytelling. I've just tried to use different mediums to tell a story. So, creating videos and that sort of thing. I've experimented with different mediums like machinima, which was kind of like that was interesting. I mean it taught me how to edit and things like that. So I was kind of teaching myself how to do this stuff as I went. So I learned how to edit, putting all of these little pieces of visual things together. And, as time went on, things turned into like a skit, like a little TV skit, like a Saturday Night Live bit or something like that. Then when I came over to China, I started vlogging my experiences and started using my YouTube channel more often. And, so yeah, the vlog started picking up a little bit. And again, telling a story about my experiences overseas as a foreigner in China.
Well, yeah, I think I have one of your videos. Which video am I showing here now? I think I have one. Is this the one in New York?
Well, this one was my last time visiting New York, which was about two and a half years ago. And it was kind of I was experiencing a reverse culture shock.
Oh, wow.
So especially, I mean, yeah, the first thing you'll notice is on the train, on the MTA, on the E train. And, you start seeing the homeless and the smell, right?
Oh,
the
my goodness.
homeless on the trains.
Well, let's take a look. Let me take a
right.
look. Let me see what you got. Let me see.
What's up, everybody? This is your boy Gwiz, back in New York on my old line here, the E train, Jamaica Center. All right, you heard the man. Stand clear of the closing doors. All right, so I just happen to have the car to myself right now. This is the first stop, Jamaica Center. This is my first full day back here in New York. I'm hesitant to say back home because I really don't live here anymore. And I really don't want to live here anymore. It's kind of rough, to be honest, man. Maybe experiencing a little bit of culture shock. I love New York, but I haven't been here in 3 years, and a lot has happened. The amount of homeless is like multiplied by 10 since I got off the Long Island Railroad from the airport. Seeing homeless people is just a part of being in New York, but yeah, it's really kind of overwhelming now. And I think it's a result of COVID and, people losing their jobs. So I'm always the first to defend my home, especially New York. I'm proud to be a New Yorker, but this is bad. This is really bad.
Let's talk about that for a moment. Do people ask you a lot about New York when you're out there?
All the time. I'm a proud New Yorker, right? I mean, New York, we have a status. I mean, I'll say I'm a New Yorker before I say I'm an American, right? I rarely say I'm American, but when I say I'm a New Yorker, right, people are like, oh, everybody knows New York.
Yeah.
So
even though you don't want to move back, you're still proud to be a New Yorker.
Oh, absolutely. You can hear it in my voice, right? I'm a New Yorker. I'm a real New Yorker, born and raised, right? I'm not like one of these fake New Yorkers that, move from Connecticut or move from New Jersey and say, yeah, I'm from New York. Nah, you're not from New York, right? Let's be real.
Wow. Well, I want to tell you, I was so happy to see you when we got together for the 40th, when you popped up and went over to the school. Was that your first time going back over to the school?
Oh, yeah. And that was my first time because I had only been living in China for a couple of months at that point. So I was really, and everything kind of like aligned at the same time because I was really coming back to New York for a friend of mine had passed away. Another Jamaica High School alumni, Ron Monroe, great bass player, good friend of mine. He was in the class after hours, I believe. He wasn't in our class, but he was in, maybe two classes after us. But a great bass player, and he passed away. So when he passed, I asked the manager of where I was working in China if I could, get some time off and go back to the United States and attend the funeral. And they let me go. And it just happened to be the same time as our reunion,
Wow.
So I only told a few people that I was coming back, which allowed me to it was a surprise, right? You might have been one of the people.
And it was so good to see. Was that not amazing though? I was so glad you came when we were in the auditorium. How did it feel? Was you there when we went to the classes? Gene, we went through the class. We went to the cafeteria, man. We went to the cafeteria. We sat in a class, and I'm trying to think who taught. Somebody, I don't know if it was Lonnie. Somebody acted like they were the teacher. We were sweating. It was hot in there, and we were cutting up like we were in class, and we were walking through the halls. It was amazing.
That was the best surprise, seeing Lonnie, because Lonnie didn't know I was coming back. So, and I got that on film too. His reaction when he saw me, it was really cool. Rick too, Rick Freeman. He didn't know I was coming.
Yes.
So yeah.
And we're looking to do it again. We're looking to do it again. But I want to go back because you've got some amazing stuff. So thank you for sharing what you said about the New York. But you also, I see that you had another video on your channel where the one that I have here now, and this is one. Tell us about what this is right here before I show it. I want them to see this because is this a little bit of like your work?
I don't know. Let me see it. Which one? Oh, this one. So this was, I was hanging out in Shanghai, and they had just opened up the new flagship Apple store in Shanghai. Cook.
Okay. So this right here, just kind of you walking us through, giving us a visual of what the life is.
This is literally like a day or two after it opened. So I'm going to the Apple store here. But if you fast forward, after I went to the Apple store, there's a park right behind it, right? And some of the local musicians, maybe some of the senior citizens,
really?
They play music, right? And they have little drums, and they'll have speaker, and and people will dance and things like that. So I sat in with them, and it was a lot of fun.
Let me see if I can find that.
Right. So if you fast forward to that, you'll see it.
So hold
From
on.
Shanghai, that is Jing'an Temple behind me. Beautiful temple right here. It's the Tomb Sweeping Festival holiday here. Which I did not realize when I came out to Shanghai. I actually came out here to check out a music concert. Scott Henderson was one of my OG favorite guitar players from many years ago, way back, right?
He does best soldering.
Couldn't have done it with New York on Fifth Avenue. I was there when that opened, the Cube, and here, and check out the new Apple flagship store right there. It opened about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. Tim Cook was here. He was right out there for the opening. It was in the news, and it was very cool. I'm a big Apple head, right? I was actually at the opening of the shop in New York on Fifth Avenue. I was there when that opened, the Cube, and long lines to get in there. It was a big thing. And I remember meeting like all the cast of Saturday Night Live was there, and Fred Armisen, and met them. Spike Lee was there. So it was really cool. And it's a beautiful area. Apple definitely knows where to put its stores, right across from the beautiful temple over here. Apple is funny about filming inside, so I know I'm not going to be able to film inside, but hey, it's an Apple store. They're all the same. We know what it looks like, right? It's clean, it's white, a lot of wooden tables and Apple products. One thing that I know that they don't have in there is the new Apple Vision Pro, and maybe that's why Tim Cook was here last week, because I was actually in New York when they started doing demos for
So you can
the new
fast forward
Apple
this.
Vision Pro. I was like the second day.
So keep going, keep going. Yeah, keep going. Right here, right here.
Beautiful park. That's nice.
China has a lot of beautiful parks.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, look at the sea, look at the greenery. Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
It's just like a tourist location or just a
Yeah,
city park.
yeah. Well, they have a lot of these, but this is right
Oh,
behind the
my
Apple store. And there's a temple right across the street too.
Wow.
Okay, but you
Oh,
can
it's
hear the
pretty
music.
clean there. It's pretty clean.
Oh, it's super clean.
Oh my
Super
goodness.
clean.
You don't see a lot of paper on the ground and
Not really.
wow. Don't see too many of us, I see.
Exactly. I'm usually the only one.
Wow. Wow. But you don't feel like an outcast. They make you feel welcome.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you'll see. Keep going. Like, where are you in this video? Like, go a little forward.
Crying out, they break dance.
They do break dance. They do like 80s break dance.
I can't wait to see how you manage, how you got in.
All right, so they let the old black guy come in and sit in on drums, and they like it. Music brings us all together.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh wow, that's pretty cool. So is that some places we go and we're just not comfortable. So it is safe to say that even though you're the minority for sure, you're comfortable.
I am, but I mean, I can't say that for everybody, especially Black women, I have to say, Black women that I've met overseas, and it's in China in particular, I don't know, and I'm generalizing, but the ones that I've met, they get uncomfortable easy. Oh, why are they looking at me? Oh, why are they looking at my hair? Or why, they're always complaining, right? So for me and some other, maybe African men, things like that, we don't have that problem. We can relate with the people. We can interact with them without feeling self-conscious, or we're not offended. Even if nobody has ever tried to touch my hair or anything like that, but I know it happens. But I've been treating with respect. So yeah, I haven't had that problem.
So if you were to try to fall in love or find a significant other there, then you would just have to be a person would have to be open to all cultures
Okay.
because
Are you there?
Can you hear me? So the question I was asking, if let me know if you can hear me, Gene, because I'm talking. You might have broken up a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Gene Williams, Gwiz, in Japan right now. He's going back to China because he actually lives in China. How long you been out there? How many
Okay.
years now?
Okay. I got cut off again. So I'm sorry. What did I miss? What did I miss?
How many years you been out there?
Let's see. I came in the end of 2017. So this is
Wow.
about an anniversary coming up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is it 8 years? Not
Yes.
8
So
years.
I was
something like
asking you about being comfortable, and you were saying you're pretty comfortable, but you said women and African American women may not be. And I was getting ready to ask you if somebody comes over there, they have to be open to all nationalities because you may be a
Absolutely.
minority. You have to be comfortable. You have to be confident.
Yes, yes. And that's what I teach when I do teach. The last gig I had at the university, I teach them confidence because they have a face culture, losing face. They're easily embarrassed. They don't want to, and they're very shy people.
Really?
So, when I teach, the first thing I try to, get them to feel is to build up their confidence and not to be afraid to speak. So, yeah.
Wow. And if they want to find love or a relationship, they got to be open-minded because it's the chances of finding more African Americans out there is slim to none. I mean, is there any way you can go, Gene, where you're going to see some of us?
Well, you'll see Africans,
Okay.
but African Americans, nope, not
Wow.
really, not really. I met a young sister here in Japan though just the other day, and if you do see them, they're teaching like me, So I met a young girl the other day, and it's weird, We come from New York, so we're open, we don't have any problem talking to people, But
Yes.
yeah, sometimes when you see us, it's like they don't want they don't want to talk to you. They're like,
Wow.
okay, but it's like, okay, what's the matter? Why is it that hard? Is it so hard? But from my
Wow.
experience, that's what the vibe has been like. With brothers, though, I see brothers, and we give each other the brother hug, and yeah, how you doing? The brother handshake and all of that stuff. So I don't know what's up with the sisters, man. They don't. They just
Wow.
want to be alone, or they don't want to be with you. That's the thing.
Wow. Now, Gene, I know I also want to share on your channel how you have so much other stuff on your channel. And I really want people to come and support your channel, follow your channel. You have some great stuff here on the channel that I see. And it looks
Yeah,
like
I do movie reviews, so you can see like I reviewed the new Fantastic Four movie, So I'm into all the Marvel stuff, so I try to keep up with all the movies and stuff. And then you'll see some of the latest AI projects, right? So some of these are completely done with AI.
wow.
Then there's my virtual album, the Gene Williams
There's this one.
virtual collection.
Oh,
So
wow. So gifted.
yeah.
A virtual, wow. You really, you know what, y'all, we have to go support Gene. We have to go check out his channel. You see what he's got going on. Oh my goodness, you see the artwork, movie reviews. Are you for hire, Gene? That's the question. Are you for hire? Can somebody hire you to do cartoons, to do a film, to do anything? Are you for hire for anything?
Yeah, well, now that I'm getting older and it's harder to get a job, yeah, I might have to start considering that. You know, I used to do all this stuff. I just do it for me now. You know, I just do it for me. But now, yeah, I'll probably have to be an AI artist for hire.
Wow. So I might have to get with you to see if you can put together something. Check my channel out when you get a chance, and maybe the young lady. I don't know if you listened to the intro song. That's a friend of mine. She did the intro
heard it.
song.
Yes, I did hear. I was checking that out.
But now I was thinking, man, I need a cartoon or something. I need something. Something catchy, something different.
Well, let me ask you, you know, because they say people our age, we're bad with keeping up with technology. I know I'm the exception because I've always been on top of technology. But, you know, they're trying to say that, oh, well, you know, if you're over 50, you can't use AI. You don't understand it, right? So are you doing anything with AI? What is your experience with AI?
So I've learned, when it first came out, I did take the class. I used Chat GPT. I've used it, but I prefer, because of time, because, you know, I do a lot of caregiving with my sister, because of my lifestyle with taking care of family. I prefer to outsource that to someone, but I am familiar, and I do make sure that whatever comes out, I find out about it. I educate myself, and I see what it's about, because if I don't, we're going to be in trouble. We have
absolutely exactly. So if there's anything that I could do, you know, to help out, because you said if are you for hire, you know, I could probably help out, because now it's easier for you to do all the stuff that I've been doing, you know, using AI, using these new tools.
Wow. Okay. Well, listen, and if you are, I can put a phone number up here for you, Gene. I know he's cutting out Lady
By
Jim.
all
He's
means, you know, I understand it. And I never took a course for all this stuff. It's anybody could do it, you know, but if I need to show you how to do it,
yeah, I would love that. Now, what is a phone number? Since you're for hire, what contact information would you like me to put on the screen for people to reach out to you?
That's a good question. Probably Messenger, Facebook.
Okay.
Facebook would probably be the best way. Yeah.
So follow him at Gene Williams. So follow him at Gene Williams and send a message and say, I saw you on Storytime with Shop Crystal. I saw your work. So you're for hire for what exactly? Musician work or cartoon?
I need to figure that out. For what? For what exactly?
No, you have so many gifts. I'm saying you do so much. Filmmaker, cartoon. Can you help podcasters or people with their social media? I mean, what is
That's
it
true.
that you contact?
Yeah, I could be like a consultant for whatever, you know, a production arts consultant. Yeah, that's it. I just made that up.
Okay, well, listen.
Production
I'm
arts
gonna be contacting you. Hey, my channel about to be lit, y'all. Okay, because I got Gene Williams. Okay, right. we about to do some things now. Listen, look at God. Look at God, man. Man, Gene. So what next? What is it that you haven't had a chance to do that? If you could, what next for you?
Oh man, I don't know. I think maybe traveling more now, you know. So this trip to Japan has been fantastic, you know. So I'm hoping to do it again. You know, maybe in a couple of months I'll be back here, or maybe Vietnam. You know, I've never been there. You were briefly, we were talking about Thailand. You were talking about some friends of yours in Thailand.
Yes.
Where I haven't been back there in almost 30 years. So I'll definitely more traveling more traveling to some places that I've never been to before, or places that I've been to, I just don't remember them, because it's been a long time.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Where
Mhm.
have you been that you absolutely love? Where's your favorite place that you visited over all those years traveling with Dad and everything? What part of the world was fascinating to you?
Japan. It's my favorite. It's my
Wow.
favorite place. Yeah, yeah.
What
Tokyo is definitely my favorite.
it looks like it has a lot of architectural beauty. It looks like the buildings are really nice. I just saw all the greenery. It looks like the landscaping is
Well, that
beautiful.
was China. That was China that you saw in the video, right? So
Okay.
yeah, the landscaping, but it's similar. It's similar here in Japan, but I like Japan because musically, for me as a musician, like
Mm-hmm.
literally like an hour after I got back here, I'm meeting musicians on the street, right? And they're
Wow.
like, "Hey, I got a gig. Come on over," right? I had a jam session with some old friends of mine, and it was so much fun. The stuff I couldn't do in China. It's really hard to, because, to be honest, I haven't met musicians in China that were very good. They are there, but to do the stuff that we do, and we've been doing since we were kids, they don't have that experience in China. Here in Japan, there are some really talented musicians, playing funk
Wow.
and jazz and R&B and all sorts of stuff. So if I had the opportunity to stay here, and people are saying, "Hey, Gene, I could get you a gig here."
You are listening to Gene Williams. We call him G Wiz. He went to high school with us, Jamaica High.
This might
My
be the
goodness,
next
we are
move.
so proud. We are so proud
Yeah.
of Gene and everything he has done. Oh my goodness,
And
we are.
if there's anything that you get from this interview, I hope it's that, maybe you feel like, oh, I'm stuck where I'm at. What am I going to do? Remember, you're not tied to where you're at, right? I mean, if you, think out the box, right? Because I wasn't thinking about China at all, before I was offered this job, right? I wasn't thinking overseas at all. I was thinking about Japan, but this opportunity to
Okay.
work in China just worked out. And man, if I had stayed in New York, I don't, I would be broke. you know, I
Yeah.
don't know where I'd be living. Because they kept raising the rent. The cost of living is just crazy, right?
Well, I do think outside the box. I'm going to be interviewing my friend. I think she's in Vietnamese. She's the one that was in
Yeah.
Thailand. I've interviewed
Hmm.
somebody from, I think they were in Belize or somewhere. So
Oh yeah.
I
Okay.
know people different places. So I am expanding and I'm encouraged. I mean, my
Yeah.
channel is a new channel, but in the last 2 years, I think I'm almost at 500,000 views. So I do like a lot of people will come back and replay this, and then I put it out in a lot of places. So I'm excited about what's happening, and I'm really
Yeah.
serious about getting with you to do something to spice it up to make mine different, because I do know that it's I don't one thing I don't know about that maybe you can help me with. I'm not good with the SEO and some of
All
that.
right.
I know that has a lot to do with it too.
For people who are listening, that's search engine optimization,
Yes,
SEO.
yeah. So but I'm encouraged. I actually am going to be talking to somebody next week about that too, and we're just here to inspire, empower, and to give people a way to tell their story. Mahalio is going to be on in another week. I've done Wayne
What's up,
Lyon.
Mahalio? Shout out to Mahalio.
Listen, I have interviewed Tico, and Tico has talked about his karate. I have done
Mhm.
Wayne Lyons, and he lives
I
in,
saw that. I actually watched Wayne. I saw that with the
yeah,
restaurant.
Wayne
Yeah,
is, where does he live again? He's in, where's Wayne? He's,
down south, right?
but is he in not Bermuda, but Barbados or somewhere?
Oh,
He's,
oh, okay.
he's somewhere. I can't remember right now, but, so
Hmm.
I've done him. And I'm looking to do, I just did Ivy Rashkova with her book. So
Hmm.
my dream is to give people a voice and a platform to share their story. And I also want to do something where we can connect. And I'm also looking for us to do the next reunion because we've lost a few classmates. So I thank you.
Yeah.
I thank you. I thank you for taking time to do this. I know you're traveling tomorrow. What time is your flight?
Oh, it's in the afternoon, but I have to check out of here in the morning. So, yeah, so it's
Oh,
an evening flight, but I have to check out around this time tomorrow.
okay. Well, I just appreciate you, man. I the classmates are going to be so excited when they see this and go back. They are all saying, "Oh, I'm going to watch that. I'm going to watch that." So I know they will, and I'm going to make little clips. I make clips sometimes, and I make little videos. I'm
Yeah,
learning. I'm learning things, but I can't wait to get with you to see what you can show me. Because sometimes it could be overwhelming. But I enjoy it though. I enjoy it,
right.
and
Well,
it's fun.
that's a little tip for you because we all know YouTube is very hard. But if you are take this live stream, edit it into like little second shorts.
Yep, that's what I do. And and now that they have made it so that we can do the vertical and we can
Those
do
shorts,
horizontal.
the shorts actually help build your
Yes,
channel up,
yes,
right?
yes.
So that will help your SEO.
Yeah, and but now, Gene, they also they made it now so we could do it with the vertical and horizontal because before we couldn't do vertical. We couldn't do vertical on YouTube, but now we can.
Yeah,
So I'm excited about that. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking to my classmate, man, from Jamaica High.
78.
Oh man, Jane. I mean, what do you want the people to know you? I'm going to give you a moment right now to I'm going to put it on you. I'm going to put the camera on you, and I'm going to give you the opportunity to just talk to people, whatever you want to know. I always give people a chance to, even though I know you do this all the time, I want you to talk to your classmates. I'm going to give you an opportunity to say whatever you want to say to your Jamaica High classmates or to anybody who might see this from Queens, New York, anything on your heart that you might want to say to them. And I'll give you the opportunity right now. And I just want to thank you, man. I just want to thank you for this opportunity. It has been so real, ladies and gentlemen, to have Gene here, my high school classmate, man. I mean, he is the man. He's an artist. He draws. He's gifted. If you go back and you do the replay of this, if you go back and see it, you'll see it. So today was a special day for me. I'm grateful that I caught him. I'm grateful that I caught him, and I'm happy that he was able to take time to do this. And I'm going to give him the opportunity to come and speak and say something to those that are here. So, Gene, I'm going to give you the floor. I'm going to give you the
All right.
opportunity.
I'll keep it short because, in case I cut out again.
I know.
I think you said it all at our last reunion, right? And you made up those little badges, Jamaica High School class of whatever it was, 78.
Annette made those. Annette
Right.
made those. Yes. Mm-hmm.
But what were the words that she had on it? We made it, right? So that's what I want to say to everybody, so to all my homies from Jamaica High School. We made it, right? We are here, and we are still here, right? So just keep on making it, and and the ones who know me, you guys know who you are. Like I said, Rick Freeman, Derek Buchanan, Harold Skeet, keep in touch, man. Don't lose that connection that we had because those were special times, right? And as long as we're here, those times will, hopefully influence the next crew, the next young crew of people, and they'll do creative things their way, right? So anyway, but yeah, man, just keep in touch and thanks for having me. It was nice to do this, and yeah, I'll be seeing you.
Yes. I thank you. I thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. I have been talking to Gene Williams. Gwiz, go follow his channel, Jamaica Funk. How sweet
That's what it is. That's what it is.
I was gonna play it right, but then I didn't want to get no strikes.
Copyright.
I was
Tom
gonna
will
come
get
on
you.
with Jamaica Funk. That's what it is. That's the
Oh
jam.
no, that's enough. That's
I'll keep you in tune to let you know when we're trying to get together again next year. Some people want to wait till the 50th, but I keep telling people we ain't getting no younger. I don't know
yeah,
if we
we're
need to wait
checking
that
out. We're checking out. Yeah.
we don't need to wait. But I love you, man. If I come to Japan, I'm gonna send you a message and say, listen, I'm coming. I definitely look you up. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. When you come back, just put a comment in and let us know you were here. Say hello, say hello, say hello. Let's not take 1 second for granted. We are not getting any younger. every second is a gift, man. Every second is a gift. You know, my motto is keep hope alive. My mission is to stir up the gift, instill hope, and save lives. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for subscribing. See you on the next story time. I'll be back tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, I have a show at 9 p.m. and it's actually going to be with an insurance agent. It's Insurance Awareness Month. And we're going to just give you some tips. So please come check it out. I like to empower you with information too, because we need that. God bless you all. See you on the next story time. Jean, I'll be in touch. Peace, safe travel.
Comment, and subscribe.
Hey, see y'all later. Bye.
All right.
A catalyst for change with the chance to thrive. Crystal is the one to stir up gifts and save lives. You get exposure, promotion, and marketing too. And advertise for business owners just like you. On Storytime, your interview is global. Virtual or in person, just come on the show. Yo, your story matters. Crystals will open the door. 40 years of experience, ready to give you more on Storytime. Get ready for Storytime. Hey!